So, thank you very much for being here today. We have a quite loaded word on the slide, and it's agentic. So maybe before starting to talk about the details, let's ground ourselves at what we as panel mean by agentic. And for us, at its core, it's referring to systems that just go beyond responding to prompts, but can reason, plan, and act towards a goal, often autonomously and often by orchestrating multiple tools or APIs. In other words, it's the next step beyond co-pilots. It's systems that don't just assist humans, but take initiative with guardrails. Today, we want to go a bit beyond the buzz and discuss what it actually means for the business, what are concrete examples that are already in use, and where the value lies. So, with that being said, maybe asking the first question to you for, what needs to be true in an organization to make agentic AI work? Is it skills? Is it trust? Is it governance? Is it tech? Is it data? Or is it any of the above?
Well, I can give it a short, I think the first thing that you have is the ability of AI to take a decision, is the ability of a high level of accuracy, and making sure as well that the guardrails in your organization are okay. You cannot have AI accessing all your data and have agent taking decision based on all the data that are available if your business process does not allow you to do that. So making sure that when you run your agent, it's based on data they can access, and your risk framework is designed to run a processes which is based and built to be executed by agent. It's actually key. And right now we are moving processes where we design the process for human and run them for human to process where agent will, be built and build leverage to deliver the value. And for me, changing this mindset and defining your risk model is really a key component.
I can add maybe two other things you need to start at the beginning. You will need to have trust from your exco before you can go. So that's a question you have. And to do so, you need to, with the team, even with no agenting, but just deliver and prove it brings value. So that's how you create the trust with your exco, who will help you deliver. First thing. Second thing, if you think about agentic AI, then there are processes somewhere in the discussion, and that processes, they are in the head of a lot of people, but you need to have them understandable by some LLM. So at some point, you need to work on that, have a clear documentation, and make it structured enough so that when you give it to LLM, it will understand and then be able to orchestrate your agentic AI.
And maybe just to complement on this, I think what's interesting is also to go back to the definition of AI agents versus agentic AI, because in a sense, I think for most of the use cases that we will be talking about, we are in this phase of agentic AI, and we don't have autonomous AI agents running in the wild, and even less so swarms of them. And I think it's the governance framework that you put around it is different. Agentic AI can be very much of a human-led process with a human in the loop and a risk framework that we are quite kind of used to within a bank. AI agents autonomously making decisions, writing into systems, interacting directly with clients is a different story. So I think this is an important distinction, and in my view, we are still very much kind of in the agentic AI in the sense that the way you build your applications is using a framework where, with tool calls, with LLMs reasoning onto their own outputs, but it's not fully autonomous. And I think that's important. We are probably going to get there, but we are not quite there yet.
And if we would, how do you see the roles and ownership and accountability evolving once that is the case?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a progression, but the human, in a sense, is going to be more in a supervisory role and an orchestration role. In a sense, there's the supervisory is to manage potentially many agents that are carrying out tasks on their own, and then the supervision is to check the quality of what comes out.
And this is a perfect segue to my next question, and maybe this is why we're already getting started. It's how does the role of the human evolve from operator to orchestra, or is there any other fancy term that you could describe the human in that equation?
It's not only orchestrator, it's also setting the goal. Because if you don't set correctly what you expect as an output from your agent, then the whole process will collapse. So I think you will have to define correctly what are the goals that you define for your agent, and then making sure that the output match whatever level of expectation you are. But I'm with you, Steve, it's a long road ahead, and having AI running process on themselves without any human intervention will still take a while in order, especially in FinServe, to have the risk framework in place to have that acceptable. And then, I know you were saying, I'm completely in line. We need to show value. You need to show value, progress, and I think if you manage to show the value of the processes that you do, the ROI, and how a simple process can be improved, you're gonna get adoption. And I think you need to have more POC to get adoption and show the value, and not try to do the full Monty right away.
Yes, I think that we are going to move from doing, that's what humans do right now, to a strategic position. I think the main tasks for humans after deliver the agentic strategy is more about the setting objectives, define the strategy, define and design the agents, and to supervise the outcomes of them.
And maybe at the end of the road, if you step back and think of what we are building, we are trying to build a fully automated process end-to-end that could be 100% digital. That's the goal. So first we're working through advisors, and then we want to give that directly to customers so that they are autonomous in their way to discuss. That's very good if you think of weekends, nights where customer might want to buy something, so they can do it. Even complex products such as banking products we can have. But then, is it exactly what we want? Do we want to have 100% digitalization? Do we want to, do the customers want to never talk to anyone? I'm not quite sure about that. And I think we need to think ahead of that and be ready to get a world where, you can sell on weekends in a fully remote and automated way, but still during the day, it's human first. And the junior staff will be trained by AI that is able to deliver the job, but they will just script it and tell it. And being trained, they will become experts and then become the one who trains the AI. That's a sustainable way to see the world at the end of the road of the agentic, and I'm looking forward to see what we're going to make of that.
Let's talk about current maturity and momentum. Where do you stand in your organization on the agentic AI journey? Is there any pilots or lighthouse projects that you can share with the audience today?
So I would love to say that it's done, but it's not the case yet. We are starting to build the bricks with the idea of an orchestrator then being able to use that. So the bricks, like we have two we just delivered. The first one is asset management meeting preparation assistant that is able to summarize with AI the situation of the customer and what are the next best things to discuss with him. So that's quite useful to our advisors. The other example is on the document side, which is also a brick that will eventually be used because we have to, in the banking industry, manage documents and check the QIC and do all of that related things. So that's live. By the way, the last one, which is quite interesting with LLM, is that we already reached 97% accuracy, which is super good. Not yet the human level, but kind of close, so working on that. So that's the bricks we have, and then I'm looking forward to see how we will orchestrate when we'll have broadened the bricks covering our processes to make them work. So that's the next step. We have some POCs, but it's just POCs yet.
Well, I mean, by running product and being in the software business, we build on top of AI. So we already sell solutions that leverage what we have and make decisions, especially on KYC space and the ability to extract information from documents and so on. But even internally, I think being a tech company, we drink our own champagne, and so we apply all the tech and the knowledge that we do on our internal process. And that's where the accuracy is interesting, I think. For our customer-facing and legal process, our legal department can extract the value of how much am I exposed to that country or to that currency in a nutshell. But in the meantime, when we build product, we can lower the level of accuracy and have much more iteration with our agent to try, fail, and learn. And I think that's where it's super interesting to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all. In the FinServe industry, it doesn't make sense to run a process that is 80% of accuracy. But in software development, well, I mean, it's some underlying process and iteration. It could actually be useful. And so, again, building on top of AI and building the products that will, make the next generation of solution available, it's, I think, super important. And that's what we are doing.
Now we are, as our Lighthouse project is, we are trying to deliver our own architecture, agentic architecture. And for the coming years, we plan to launch a program, an agentic program with several lines of activity. First one is technology. It's just to try to integrate another frameworks, such as Microsoft Agentic Framework or the IBM, just to make agents deliver from different frameworks work together with ours. Also, another line is focus on context engineering. It's critical, we think, and one of them, one of the others is the integration. Try to focus on the integration between the agents and our systems, MCP and kind of protocols, and finally governance and security.
And maybe on our end, so from the Pictet Group perspective, so private bank and asset manager based in Switzerland, there's two main axes of work in that space. So one is typical kind of conversation experiences, like ChatGPT, but tailored to the needs of our employees. So that's the productivity aspect, which we are working on and making, for instance, an assistant that helps our bankers be more productive. This is nice. It's productivity related, and it's hard to kind of get concrete gains out of this. I'm probably not the only one to see this, but it's complicated to materialize those gains. The other big pillar of our work is around task automation, and this is, to me, today where you can see tangible impact, because the technology is where it needs to be to actually fulfill those tasks. And just to give you an example, intelligent document processing is a space that is being massively disrupted by this technology, because LLMs today are very good at reading documents, understanding documents. So you can ask your LLM to review a document and to extract specific information from these documents. And just to give you an example, like a bank like ours reviews fund prospectuses. Those are 500 to 1,000 page documents. We need to extract 50 or so fields from these documents, something that takes hours to a person. And until just not too long ago, this was a task 100% performed by a human. So today, an LLM can do this quite well. We still have a human in the loop to check that the result is correct, but the accuracy that we reach is good enough. And it's probably around 95+%, which with the last human check is enough. So this is just one example of task automation, which is already delivering concrete gains. And then you can take it one step further. Once you kind of read the document well, you understand it well, you can review it. You can have automated reviews of this document. And then you can also craft some report out of it. So then the workflow goes on. And so we're still at the beginning, but I think the technology is very promising in many of those aspects.
I can't agree more. Processing document is bread and butter for what we do at DocuSign, and honestly, the result you can do by extracting information from a document and leveraging that in your business process is tremendous. We have return of investment of more than 80%, and especially sometimes, the quality of the data is actually inside your document and not in your system. and being able to extract the information from your contract itself and re-update your own system to increase the level of accuracy, it's super key. And you can do that in a nutshell with a solution that can do that and just extract easily. And the fact that you can run that through a product, it gives you a compliance framework where you know who has access to what type of document. Because of course you want to extract your information from your contract. But do you want everybody to access those information? No, of course not. So you will need solutions that manage that at scale. And typically, this is where, of course, a solution like DocuSign can do that for you. But the value you will get, the ROI is there. And then you can go to your exco, as you were saying, at the beginning, Arnaud, and say, hey, look, there is value here. It's an easy catch, and it's easy to adopt. So 100% agree with you.
Taking your answers, I hear a lot of automation of internal workflows. Do you also plan to use Agentic more to increase your top line and put it out to customers, or not yet?
From our side, not yet. Not yet. Our chief comes from efficiency, so she's focused on automation, internal processes automation. So that's our focus right now.
Alors, increasing your top line is a good old AI systems, the one we knew before ChatGPT appeared. So that's not about Agentic, that's part of it. But actually, if you think of your sales process, and if you automate that, then you have two options. One, to get some operational efficiency gains, reducing the time of the team, or gaining market shares and increasing what you expect from your teams to be able to deliver over time, and that can make top line in some way. It's direct scales of your sales team, kind of.
Yeah, for us, same thing. I think we are not trying to add revenue directly using this technology yet, at least. It's more empowering bankers, for instance, who are kind of our relationship managers, the ones facing our clients, enabling them to be more productive, so they can have more time with the clients and have a better relationship with down the line can lead to higher sales, but it's more of an indirect impact.
Yeah, I think one topic where you could play, but it's not really the top line. It's helping your funnel to increase your conversion rate when you have a funnel of customers that you're trying to get adopted. And there, yes, AI can learn and help you to increase your conversion rate and avoid, experience where you drop, experience where people are doing same activity in a certain number of time. It's not really about just increasing the top line. It's really about making sure that when people are trying in B2B2C to do business with you, you can increase the conversion rate. But very different than what you do in wealth management, where the relationship with your customer is key, and you don't want to replace your front-end business with an agent to do that. That's not going to drive additional revenue. Maybe, funnel management can be an area where, of course, there are opportunities to run.
Thank you so much. Let's share some lessons learned. What have been the more trickiest elements in implementing this? Is it technical? Is it organizational?
Maybe I can start. I would say all of the above. Like technically, again, like having agentic AI in complex workflows is actually quite. It's a lot of work. It doesn't work out of the box. That's one key learning. It never works out of the box. The LLMs are great. They are working. The benchmarks that come with them are always very impressive. You put them in the situation of facing real world documents, very complex ones. It just doesn't work the way it should. But then you can work on it and actually increase accuracy quite significantly. But it's not a free lunch. So that would be one. And I think the second would be definitely governance. Include your risk functions early. So and risk, legal, all the control functions early, so that they don't become a blocker down the line, but that they are part of the journey.
I can add an easy one. Knowing we are at Adopt AI, and I shouldn't say that, but the advisor we built for the asset management meetings, that's a version 2. Version 1, we started without thinking too much about adoption, and actually it was It was kind of similar, but it failed at the launch, at the adoption phase, where we were super happy about delivering that to the advisors. So that's also something, in addition to your points, that we should consider, and that today seems for me to be more of a problem than the technical side, which is always easier and easier over time. So Adopt AI, we are here, great, and
being the product guy, I can't agree more. Adoption is key, and I think taking consideration and accepting that you may fail in your POC, in your trial, and that's okay. Every big tech disruption that happens every 15 years start with trial and failure, and that's okay because ultimately you will learn, improve, and deliver. And I think if you can reduce this cycle of improve value, and that is the only way to extract the value and adopt and get adoption of your product. But usual product guy, adoption is key, 100%.
One last question before we close. Looking into the future, 3 to 5 years from now, where do we stand? We have 52 seconds left.
Well, I think this is like manufacturing. I think agents will be like robots co-working with us. Humans defining the strategy, supervising the outcomes, and the agents doing our work, our previous one.
Well, I think human will still keep the relationship, point of view and customer interaction, and you will have processes designed and built with AI agent at its core, so it can actually leverage the power of them. But I don't see a world where there is no human interaction, especially in front office business and in financial services.
So I would fully agree with this. I think the human is still going to be in the loop. I very much like to quote Andrej Karpathy, for those who follow. He mentioned that it's not the year of agents. Everybody talks about the year of agents. It's the decade of agents. It's going to take a while for this to actually work at scale.
And in my perfect world, it's like 5 years probably, so maybe a decade, I'm not sure about that. But it's a world where you have human experts talking to customers, but also training AI, and AI is training the junior staff who are learning to become experts, and we have a sustainable functioning in the society.
Closing on that note, thank you so much, and thank you for listening to us.